Reflections is it started in two different ways. So one was, again, going back through my journals. I keep old letters, I keep pictures, I keep, different mementos in a box. And I was going through some of those things and saw the memorial card for an old boyfriend of mine. And it was his mother had sent me the memorial card telling me about how the service was and all of that. And it triggers memories of when she called me to tell me that John had passed away. And it just starts giving you memories of that. But I hadn't started writing a song about John. I had started writing a song about one of my friends who had to go and do some, cleaning out of her attic. And Doug had started putting down the drum track for that song. And as soon as I heard the drum track of the song, it changed the song. I'm like, that is not about this anymore. It is absolutely about the day that I heard that John had died. And as soon as I heard that, I went back and rewrote the whole thing, and it came out pretty easily as well. That was another one that the idea kind of formed in your head really quickly and then just came out. So it's reflections of my memories of John and the time we had together and that day that I heard that he had died.
And this song was actually, you guys had slowed this song down quite a bit because there was to give it the feeling that it has now.
The song started slow. Doug got a drum track that made it really fast, which turned it into Reflections. We played it and said, I can't sing that fast. Let's try slowing it down. And then it was too slow, and then it was too fast, and then it was too slow, and then it was too fast.
And then we made it. It started out in 4/4 time, and then I just had an epiphany that said, I wonder what this would sound like if we played this in 6/8 time. And as soon as I did that, I said, oh yeah, okay, this is it.
Yeah. It was one of those songs that I loved it, and then I hated it, and then I loved it, and then I hated it, and it kept going back and forth. I'm like, I know this can be a really good song, but I can't get to the point where I continue to love it, because every change we make goes back to hate, back to love, back to hate, back to love.
Yeah.
And then once he found that because you changed the timing in it too.
Yeah, I changed it to 6/8 time and the tempo as well.
You changed the tempo during the song.
Right. So the song, because it can drag, so the song actually picks up tempo slowly, probably imperceptibly to most people, but it does actually increase tempo as you go through the song, which means that it doesn't drag.
And it was the magic sauce.
Yeah, and that kind of did it. And then the bridge, I love the bridge in that song. And Lynn, we wrote the bridge, and we were singing it, and it needs something else. And Lynn had this idea of a counter melody.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And so we put in
good ideas and every now and again.
That was genius. Actually, that was just genius. And so we put in the counter melody with Lynn singing it, but because she found out about this through a telephone call, so we made the counter melody sound like a telephone call, like she's getting the telephone call, and that really, I think, sets that bridge apart. It gives the song a real moment.
Yeah, I think when we had, without that counter melody, there was a string going through the song that got broken and would pick up again, and that just brought the line straight through the whole song. So it didn't feel like it broke off anywhere and just built up. And I liked how that came out.
Yeah.
It's all because of Jackson Browne, though.
Yeah, exactly. Our thanks to Jackson Browne for giving us that idea.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs of his was from the first album I ever owned. The song is on Silver Lake, and there's a counter melody in it that I love. The album's Saturate Before Using. So if anybody wants to check out Jackson Browne, Saturate Before Using.
And I will say that the second half of the counter melody line in the bridge,
he wrote.
I did write that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Not much.
He wrote half a line.
But I did come up with that. That's something.
Love that, you guys. Is there anything that you hope people take away from Reflections when they're listening to it? Because it does come on. It's very classic, and it's very 50s, 60s doo-wop, but you guys do it in such a really beautiful way.
That's because I'm old.
He old.
But I love it so much. Yeah.
Thank you. We did, and this was like one of the reiterations of that song. One of the lives it had a lot more doo-wop sound to it. We
In fact, I even sang doo-wop doo-wop in one of our recording sessions just for fun.
Until I fell on the floor laughing.
Yeah, right.
And like, no, you're not putting that in there. You're not doing that. But I think it had more of that feel in it on one of the versions of this song. This song was harder to musically finish than most of our other songs, just because of the style changes, but it still always had that underlying feel of the 50s, and I think we did a really good job in finishing it.
In it has that feel in which is why some of the instrumentation is how it is. So I grew up when electric pianos first happened. They were these suitcase electric pianos. So Fender Rhodes had an electric piano, which was much less a piano sound and almost sort of a cross between a piano and vibes that you play, bells kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so that's the sound of those old electric pianos, and it just fit really well with this song to have that electric piano in there, and so it does give that that 50s 60s vibe to it, but again, I'm old, so that's okay.
I love it.